Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be about when we want to say no, when things finally change and we get the opportunity to say no. Now, typically with a toxic, narcissistic ex, they have taken their finger and boop, jabbed it in your eye multiple times in the past, because every time that they were in a position to deny you something or to say no, they'll say it just because they can. The thing is that when things finally change, and they always do, you can find yourself wanting to basically do that back to them. I had that experience recently with now that the ex has got a job and having to deal with the real life ramifications of that, where I got an email from her basically saying, I'm not going to be able to pick the kids up. Can you pick them up? And I'll tell you, I really wanted to say no. I really wanted to say, that sounds like your problem, not my problem. And I didn't. I didn't actually respond to her email at all. I figured I would work it out with the girls anyways. And as is typical, oftentimes whenever something like this happens, it's pretty much, I know I'm gonna have to do it anyways. And it's just, it kind of sucks whenever you know that they've kind of pushed you into a corner to where you're agreeing to do something and you know they want you to do it, and it irks you because, you know, how dare they? So I made a few notes and I just wanted to cover this just so that I don't forget anything. So I wrote down here that when the tide turns, the tide is ultimately going to turn at some point, more than likely. In my situation, we're rolling up on 8 years to get to this point. You really want to give them a little taste, a little bitty taste of their own medicine. You want them to basically feel the way you felt over the last few years. Every time that you were put in a bind and they weren't. One of the things my ex used to say early on is she would say something and it would be like, well, I checked on this and it's not so good for you, but pretty good for me. And it was just like one of those like rub it in the eye, rub it in your eye or poke you in the eye. And it was really tough. I mean, it was not a fun time. None of this is fun. I mean, but when you get to the point to where you have the opportunity to say no or to be basically just be a roadblock just because you can, you gotta take a pause and really think about what is right for you to do for your character and what isn't. I mean, is that really who you are? Are you really that person? Am I really that person that I would turn around and say, nope, sorry, that's your problem. You need to figure it out. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything positive other than draw you down or drag you back down into this pit of hell, and we're trying to get out of it. So the next thing I wrote down here is it's a slippery slope to the dark side. And I really do believe that. I believe that whenever you start taking that path, when you start lashing out in that way, it leads to nothing good. It is sending you down the pit of hell, down that slippery abyss that you really don't want to be in. Again, it goes back to what I was talking about before, is like, who are you really, and who do you really want to be? And is the action that you're getting ready to take really representative of who that person is, who you want to be? Is that the type of person that you want to be known as, even if it's just to yourself? So it really boils down to what's really important, and sometimes it can feel like being able to take our finger and just beep right in their eye is what's really important. And it really isn't. What's really important is, if you're dealing with kids, being able to develop that relationship with them. And to be honest, even if you don't have kids, if this is one of those things where, let's say 8 years went by and the ex reached out because they needed something or whatever, they were hooving around and I had the opportunity to jab her in the eye, I would say just don't even contact, don't even respond, don't even engage. It's not worth it. What is really important? What's really important is your sanity, your peace, your environment, your situation being a positive situation for you that you want to be in. That's what's important. Everything else isn't, and it rolls back to what I was talking about before, into that slippery abyss to hell. It just isn't worth it. It just isn't worth it. Okay, so why is it so damn hard to do this? Because we have been jumping through flaming hoops for years, more than likely, and it feels completely unfair. It feels like we've been completely run through the ringer, abused, which we have been, manipulated, which we have been, caught on fire, which, okay, maybe not literally, but figuratively, we have been. And you want some justice. You want some way for this to make sense and for some way for this to be fair. And again, it's just, it isn't worth it. It isn't worth, the cost to yourself just isn't worth it to go down this. So I just wanted to make this quick video. Looks like I'm having some focusing problems and stuff, so maybe this video is not going to be that great. But if it does work, hopefully the message has been helpful, and I'll chat with you on the next video.